Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and legislative assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberations in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Perhaps you could have the bell rang for like 10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, iko.
I think it's usual business.
This one of nini?
Yeah, regulation.
Yeah, nani? The motion.
Yes.
Yeah, it's about formulating that regulations to support the border thing.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in absence of this, they may not be able to assist the border riders.
That is the thing.
So
It's
we
a
need to
key.
discuss it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just waiting for maybe
We
more.
assume there is border, didn't we?
Yes, we'll move.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Sergeant Atta, maybe we can start. Stop the bell from ringing. Next order.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Good afternoon, honorable members. Welcome to this afternoon sitting. I have the following communication to make to you. A is biometric registration. Honorable members, you do recall that at the commencement of this session of the Third Assembly, I communicated on the attendance of honorable members to committee meetings, retreats, and plenary sittings. I made reference to the Article 194(1)(b) of the Constitution of Kenya, which provides that the office of a member of a county assembly becomes vacant if the member is absent for 8 sittings of the assembly without permission in writing to the Speaker of the Assembly and is unable to offer satisfactory explanation for the absence. Further, I also made reference to Standing Order 167 of the County Assembly Standing Orders, which stipulates the procedure of removal from a committee of a member who fails to attend 4 consecutive sittings of a committee without the written permission of the chairperson of that committee. Honorable members, attendance to committee meetings, retreats, site visits, and plenary sittings has raised queries with the Office of the Auditor General, which has detected that members are signing for one another. It is therefore in this regard that I direct the Office of the Clerk to facilitate biometric registration in all committees' activities effective 1st July 2023. This will enhance accountability and adherence to the leadership and integrity code which you subscribed to. Number 2 is on a sad note. Demise of Mr. Francis Malonza. Honorable members, it is with a deep sense of loss and sorrow for the County Assembly fraternity to announce the untimely demise of one of our members, Mr. Francis Mwendo Malonza, which occurred on 4th of June 2023. Until his demise, Francis was serving in the Department of Human Resource and Administration. I wish to convey my heartfelt condolences on behalf of the County Assembly to the family, friends, and County Assembly fraternity. Fare thee well, Mr. Malonza. Thank you, honorable members. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
May I invite Honorable Philip Ndolo to lay the paper. Honorable Lucky, I understand you are holding brief for Honorable Ndolo. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Honorable Raphael Lucky, representing the good people of Matungulu West Ward. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, Wednesday, 7th June 2023. 1. Report of the Auditor General, Machakos County Assembly Housing Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2019. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
May I invite Honorable Lucky to come over and make the notice of motion on behalf of Honorable Philip Ndolo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Notice of motion. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Article 229(5) of the Constitution provides that the Auditor General may audit and report on the accounts of any entity that is funded from public funds. Further aware that Article 229 sub 7 of the Constitution states that the audit report shall be submitted to the Parliament or the relevant County Assembly. Cognizant that the report of the Auditor General on Machakos County Assembly Housing Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2019 was received in the Assembly in February 2022. Aware that the report was committed to the Committee of Public Accounts and Investment pursuant to Standing Order number 185 sub 2 B and C, which states that the Public Accounts and Investment Committee shall be responsible for examination of reports, accounts, and workings of the county public investment and whether the affairs of the public investment are being managed in accordance with the sound financial or business principles and prudent commercial practices. Aware that the committee, after receipt of the report, conducted several meetings with the accounting officer of the fund together with officers from the Office of the Auditor General and subsequently compiled a report. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice of motion that this House discusses and approves the report of Auditor General on Machakos County Assembly Housing Scheme Fund for the year ended 30th June 2019.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Next order.
Order number 8, motion. The county formulates regulations that create a fund to provide credit facilities to border operators.
May I invite Honorable Lucky Raphael Nzao to come and move the motion on the county to formulate regulations that will create a fund to provide credit facilities to border operators. Proceed, Honorable Lucky.
Again, I'm Honorable Lucky, elected member of County Assembly, Machakos West Ward, Matungulu West Ward. Honorable Speaker, that aware that under the 4th schedule of Constitution, the county government are responsible for county transport, including county roads, traffic, parking, and public road transport. Further aware that according to Motorcycle Assembly Association of Kenya, the motorcycle business in the county is generating over Kenya shillings 400 million daily. Informed that the county government of Machakos is committed to facilitating the mobility of the populace in an economically and environmentally sustainable manner, and that the industry has brought additional advantages in the transport sector at the grassroots, such as faster way of beating traffic jam, ability to operate in places where taxis and buses cannot operate, in addition to being cheap. Cognizant that pursuant to Section 116 sub 1 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, the County Executive Committee member of Finance may establish other public funds with the approval of the County Executive Committee and the County Assembly. Noting that in this county, the border has influenced positively the lives of many families in the areas through solving unemployment menace and poverty reduction, and that many of operators are youth who are not well facilitated financially. Aware that Her Excellency the Governor, in a manifesto of promoting the youth, promised to support the border sector. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that this House resolves that the County Executive Committee member for Finance formulates and forwards to the County Assembly for consideration regulations that create a fund that provide credit facility to border operators. Thank you, Madam Speaker. And at this juncture, I call my informed and able member, Honorable Bondawa, to second the motion.
Honorable Ndawa. Thank you, Honorable Ndawa, for that. I now propose the question that this House resolves that the County Executive Committee member for Finance formulates and forwards to the County Assembly for consideration regulations that create a fund to provide credit facilities to border operations. Before I invite I would wish now to invite members to debate the motion. And members, it is your turn. It's on your floor now to discuss this motion, which is very critical to us. Mheshimiwa Dominic Ndambuki.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable Dominic Ndambuki, representing Kathiani Central Ward, and I arise to support this motion, Honorable Speaker, in that border sector, Honorable Speaker, is one of the fastest growing sectors in Kenya, which employs most of the largest chunk of our youth from our areas. Honorable Speaker, you will agree with me that job creation, job opportunities in this country is becoming scarce. And job creation through border sector to our young men will solve the issue of employment and creation of employment opportunities. It is therefore, Honorable Speaker, prudent as leaders to see to it that we create avenues for our people to get capital to start these businesses. Honorable Speaker, a few days ago, there were news in the social media of how some financial institutions were swindling our people who seek their services in order to buy borders. Our young men end up losing their hard-earned money in a bid to pay the loan that they have received from these financial institutions. And Honorable Speaker, if we could have a fund that is tailored to the needs of our people, Honorable Speaker, and we support them to start these businesses and try to care to them that they need to grow these businesses well and train them so that they can have financial prudence in management of this border business through the already established circles. Then, Madam Speaker, will be playing our role as leaders of ensuring we go out there and look for them good fortunes. Honorable Speaker, as I support this motion, I also urge the Department of Transport to ensure that they help our border operators have good circles that are operational, and they train them in collaboration with NTSA on regulations that they need to apply on their roads. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Ndawa. Then Honorable Maundu after that.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Judas Ndawa, the area member for Matu. I will start by applauding my colleague, Honorable Lucky Nzau, for remembering our young brothers and sisters who are carrying on border operations. Honorable Speaker, I stand to support the motion and say that the motion is timely and is very important. Honorable Speaker, the border sector is the only sector which has absorbed so many young men and young women. If we look at other sectors, the only sector which has accommodated many is this sector. And Honorable Speaker, I strongly believe that there is urgent need to support these young brothers of ours so that they can be able to do their business.
Brothers and sisters.
Yeah? And
Brothers
also
and
sisters.
sisters.
Yes, and also sisters. I'm saying so because in my ward I have sisters who are also riding these borders.
Yes,
And they are doing it very well. In fact, if they are giving you that service, you'll enjoy more. So, Honorable Speaker, the motion seeks to create a regulation. And I'm very sure a regulation has got no much financial implications, because regulation is just to formulate, bring it to this house for approval. Honorable Speaker, if we end the regulations, we would have requested that we have this proposal also included in the coming budget. But since we don't have the regulation in place, maybe it can come in the next financial year. But we can have it. In case we can make the regulation, maybe we can consider them during either the first supplementary or the second supplementary, so that we can assist them. Honorable Speaker, the young boys and girls who are operating this, if we don't take care of them, if they now stop this business, I'm telling you, the issue of insecurity, everybody will be crying, because this is where they get their daily bread. If they don't operate, they will engage in some other activities. Honorable Speaker, each and every part, I'm very sure there are these border operators. In my ward, they have assisted me There is a neighboring school which is next to Matu shopping center by name Makevensi Secondary School. One time it caught fire. And it is through the effort of these border operators. They rushed there and they put off the fire. Another time, another school was attacked, and these young men rushed there and they saved those who were under attack. So, Honorable Speaker, apart from giving transport services, they are also important to us, all of us. Honorable Speaker, last 2 weeks, a businessman was hijacked at Masi shopping center, and he was put in a saloon car. Honorable Speaker, when codes were meant and members were alerted that so and so has been hijacked, that particular person was saved by border operators of Matu, because they broke the road. The driver tried to reverse, but he could not go anywhere. So the culprits were apprehended. So that is the benefit. Now I'm now saying, let us empower these people so that they can be able to get a daily bread and also assist us on matters of security, assist us on matters of other concerns. There is very, 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 very urgent need to save these border operators. And I would also request that we also set aside funds for them to be trained on how to manage their monies. Honorable Speaker, as you are aware, most of the operators are not riding their own bikes. They are riding bikes which are owned by other people, and they are required every evening to give either 400 or 500 to the owner of the bike. When there is no business, that particular rider will be forced to use what he had yesterday. So at the end of the month, you may find that that particular operator may not be able to progress. So, Honorable Speaker, I'm saying let us assist them so that they can buy their own bikes. If they have their own bikes, they will be keeping the money for themselves. And I'm very sure one can own even 2 or 3 and create more employment. So I do support and request that the county formulate this. The assembly is ready for this. Once it is brought before us, we are ready to approve it for their implementation. So I support, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. More inputs. Honorable Irene. Sorry, wait a minute. I had given Honorable Maundu to make his presentation after Mheshimiwa Minority. Then that will follow Honorable Irene, then Honorable Kaloi in that manner. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for catching my eye. My name is Dixon Maundo, representing Kangundo Central Ward. I stand here, first of all, to applaud my brother, Honorable, who has brought this motion into this assembly. I want to say it is timely. We all know the importance of financial institutions. Those of us who have managed to get assistance from the final institutions, we know there are requirements. You are required to either produce your pay slip, you are either required to produce your logbook, you are either required to produce your title deed before you can access financial support. So I want to say this is very timely because with this in place, the young people, both ladies and boys from Machakos County, will be able to access a smooth and a soft loans from the county. That will be will enable them to work and get their daily bread. I want to say, sorry, I want to say this, Honorable Speaker. Unemployment in our county, just like the other counties in the country, is very, very high. And therefore, we cannot afford to lose the young people who are on these riders when we say and when we don't support them. So I want to stand here and support this motion, saying this is timely and it will go a long way in supporting our young girls and boys to have something that they can rely on. I want to echo the words of Minority Leader Mheshimiwa Ndawa, who have said that these young men and girls from our county, most of them are not working for themselves. They are working for others. And therefore, creating this fund will enable each one of them, those who are interested, to get their own border riders, and they will be benefiting directly to themselves. And to add on that, Madam Speaker, I want also, with the fund, we can now start formulating on how these riders will be trained on the safety in our roads, meaning the would-be customers will now be safe using these riders, and therefore I stand to support the motion. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Maundu. Honorable Irene Molu, proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to support this important motion because it touches our youth. Having a revolving fund will help these border operators to improve their business. And therefore, I stand to support and ask this Honorable House to support this motion so that we even help our youth, because they are our brothers, some are also our sisters, to have something to put into to their table and take care of their families. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Kaloi, then Honorable Rosina.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Jeremiah Kaloi, representing the great people of Athi River. This is not only, we are not only talking of border, but we are talking of an industry which is employing a lot of Kenyans, especially in urban areas where I come from, in Athi River. There are a lot of border, and this motion, this fund, will not only give them an opportunity to increase their funding or their monies, but will expand their businesses. I have seen in other areas where the borders are investing in real estate. They are buying lands, they are building houses. Others are graduating from the border to matatu industry. So this fund, I'm sure, will help them to have the muscles to engage in bigger activities more than the border. So I stand to support the motion. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Rosina.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Rosina Kanini, nominated by Wiper Party. Madam Speaker, I want first to congratulate the mover of the motion. It's a timely motion. Madam Speaker, this border sector has created a lot of businesses and employment to our youth. Madam Speaker, before, when this sector came, we used to have a lot of insecurity, especially in the towns. Madam Speaker, many times these youth approach us, especially as honorable members, for some small amount of money, some small loans. Others seek if we can help them secure the border borders. Madam Speaker, and you'll agree with me that the MCAs don't have enough money to sustain all of them. So, Madam Speaker, with this fund, our youth, many of them, will be good to go. Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I support.
Thank you, Honorable Rosina. And in addition to what members have just said, we all know that there is so much disorderliness within that industry of border borders. While we are creating a fund and regulations to have them operationalize that fund, we also need to come up with ways of the proposed circles in that regulation that can also bring order in the way they operate, so that we can have a properly schedules that are within their circles. Yeah, like the way we've seen motor vehicles have also come up with something like that. They have circles that organize on the way you're going to carry passengers. I mean, there is some order within that, within the PSV vehicles. So that was just mine to add. And with those remarks, I now wish to call the mover of the motion to come and reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I want to acknowledge and recognize the good report and response we've gotten from the members who are responding and supporting my motion. Honorable Speaker, I will also want to add that we are in the mood and the spirit of devolution. And devolution does not end at the county headquarters. We as the legislators, we need to see and make sure that devolution reaches the bottom one, the common wananchi. And by bringing this fund to these borders, we'll be sending these monies to Machinanis directly, because these people are the ones who are running the economy of our villages. Initially, we used to have teachers who used to run the economy of our villages, but now with the borders who operate from their homes and their very immediate villages, they earn and go and keep the economy of these villages live and worth living. In addition, we also have these borders as the breadwinners of the current families. Most of the borders are groups aged around 20 years who are very much starting their families and coming from schools. With the current life standards, we have changed, the life standards have changed, and that these people have a lot of burden, and that is why you are seeing even many times having youth committing suicide. This follows after a youth goes through the education system and at the end of it all succeeds but fails to get an employment. When we create this fund, we may reduce the mortality rate of people committing, youth committing suicide because of lack of employment. The issue of insecurity rises very much when it touches the border people. Like our Honorable Ndawa, we have seen them arrest and stop a situation, because they are always in the village. They know the new people, they know the strangers in the village, and when an alarm is raised, and given that they are energetic, they respond very fast, and in such situation, you have seen some activities, some dangers are not falling to our people. So, Madam Speaker, I also want to add that with this fund in place, we will tame our money, the county money, going outside with foreign business people. I'm saying this because we've had our borders get finances from foreign business people. who are very harsh to them, Madam Speaker. These border borders pay daily. And these motorbikes have gadgets that switch them off even when you have it, that it will be rendered motionless. And because this person is very much far away, I've helped border borders who end up carrying a bike from Matungulu West to Machakos to come and have it reactivated, which is a cost. We want all that punitive business-like operations done away with in Machakos. Because if we will operationalize our fund from our county, I believe we'll be lenient to these young people, young brothers and sisters of ours, and that they will be even motivated, because this is the start of their life, start of their business life, start of their future. And when they start with a soft spot, we believe and we are sure their star of business will rise, their families will have good lifestyles, and even our county will have dependable, economic stable youth and people. So, Madam Speaker, I call upon you to make the motion go through, and I call upon all my members of the County Assembly to support this motion, and we save our young, upcoming brothers and sisters. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now put the question that this House resolves that the County Executive Committee member for Finance formulates and forwards to the County Assembly for consideration regulations that create a fund to provide credit facilities to border operators. As many are of the opinion saying ayes, as many are of the contrary opinion saying nay, the ayes have it. The House adjourns to Tuesday, 13th June, 2023 at 10:00 a.m. Thank you, members.